2, 1.
Hi there, my name is Kahn, and today we're going to be discussing your son's Gregory Horne's data, his progress in his reading and math, and some steps forward that we can take to better serve him. So the objectives of today's meeting is first to discuss Gregory's scores in the FSA assessment for both math and reading, and then also the FAIR assessment for his literacy skills. Afterwards, we're going to go over what that data actually means and then compare it to state averages. And finally, we'll offer recommendations for Gregory and accommodations both for the classroom and for testing so that he can do better in the future. The bottom line of this meeting is that we want to care for Gregory and we want him to succeed as much as he possibly can in school and in life. So first of all, a data overview of his FSA score and his FAIR assessment score. First, for the FSA, this past year when he took the 6th grade reading and math FSA, he scored a 259 on the reading assessment, which was an achievement level 1, and he scored a 320 on the mathematics assessment, which is an achievement level 2. We'll talk more about what those achievement levels actually mean on the next slide. And then his FAIR scores, it's split up into 4 categories, as you can see here. All of the scores are scored by percentile, so comparing him to other students in the state. He scored in the 18th percentile on the word recognition part of the test. However, in the vocabulary knowledge, in the reading comprehension, and in the syntactic knowledge portions of the test, he scored in either the 1st or the 2nd percentile. So what does this data actually mean? First of all, the FSA test is split up into 5 achievement levels. 1 to 2 means that a student is performing below proficient levels. An achievement level of 3 is at proficiency, and then 4 to 5 is above proficiency. Gregory was scoring in the 1 and 2 for reading and math respectively, so in both cases he was below proficient. The FAIR assessment, in those 4 categories, they were given as percentile scores. To understand a percentile, imagine a room of 100 students in it, and if Gregory is at the 2nd percentile, for instance, in one of the sections of his test, that means that out of those 100 students, 98 of them would have been scoring higher on the test than he is. So as far as his literacy skills go, he's got a lot of work to go forward with. However, we're going to be talking about what we can do to get him to that point in this next slide. So to improve your son's literacy skills, we're going to focus on accommodations for reading and writing, because we really think that help in those areas are going to help him in other subject areas as well. So a few of the things that I've talked about with administration and then also in communicating with teachers about is we want to implement a buddy system for Gregory. So pairing him with a responsible student who's more proficient in the English language than he currently is to help him with classroom activities. We also want to communicate to Greg's teachers the need for visual aids, such as pictures or graphic organizers or flowcharts in their presentations, so that Gregory can better understand these English presentations. We're going to provide him with additional resources, such as physical printouts of the PowerPoints, or we'll give the option of him taking pictures with his cell phone of the presentations, so that he can go home and review them in a little bit more of a slower pace that he's more comfortable with, and then also coming back and asking questions about the material if he has them after further review. And then finally, we're working with our Spanish department for some resources in his first language that can help with his acquisition of the English language. And finally, as far as the actual testing experience goes, we want to make sure Gregory is comfortable in those situations as well, not just while the teaching is going on, but also during the testing. So some of the accommodations that we can offer him is we can give 50% additional time to work on an assessment when possible. We can have the teachers read the instructions out loud to Gregory, along with the instructions being written on his page. And then also, when appropriate, we can allow Gregory to use a Spanish-English dictionary on assessments that do not directly assess his English vocabulary knowledge. One final recommendation for you is I would suggest that Gregory takes the access test, which is a listening, reading, speaking, and writing test made specifically for ELL students. And we suggest this because the test is catered towards ELL students specifically, and we'll be able to better plan our instruction with the specific data that this test gives. So I definitely suggest signing up for that. Thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate your cooperation. And do you have any questions?